The crack we were seeing, this was the crack we were seeing, so the inside was all...
It's all rotted.
Dude, the only thing holding it was basically that. This is...
Well everyone, today I'm going to show you a goodbye to our beautiful maple tree. Now, I wanted to have a full video out for all of you because you won't understand why we're removing the tree unless I show you. About 12 years ago, this tree was struck by lightning and it stayed standing even though it had a bad injury to it. Well, just the other day, my husband was out doing some landscaping work and he realized there is a split in the tree the whole way down to the ground. That means this tree is about ready to go. If it would go, the back end of the tree would crash into our bedroom, possibly killing us. We are very sad to see this tree go, but
this is where the lightning hit it.
Let me show you
12 years ago.
And here is the split, and you can actually stick your hand through it, and the split goes the whole way down to the bottom of the tree. The whole way down to the bottom. So we had a professional come out and look at it. He says the tree's got to go ASAP. So it's split the whole way down the center of this maple tree, and it is going to look very different very quickly here on the homestead. So I wanted to show you this on camera so you can understand a little better that we didn't just want to get rid of the trees, because we love to have trees, but we can't have a tree that's split right at the front of our property and it would fall on the house. So as you can see, the split goes the whole way in the tree, whole way down the tree, and the tree is actually dead on the top of it. There's a lot of narration that needs to be done in this video. So we're going to start by looking at the tree. It looks so nice and healthy, doesn't it? That tree was a ticking time bomb. And did we find out through this video? We thought that it really was bad, and the professional told us that it needs to come down. But we didn't realize how bad it was until, well, it started to come down. It's a beautiful tree, and it was an expense that we were not counting on. But I wanted to share with all of you, those of you who donated to get some of my garden seeds are helping us in this endeavor and helping us with this expense. And I want to thank every single one of you from the bottom of my heart who reached out to me with encouragement and also reached out to me in asking for some of the garden seeds. It all started early in the morning and they got to work. Before we called the company, my husband said, "You know what, Tessie, they're going to have to come up through your garden." My heart skipped a beat, and to be honest with you, I was really fighting the sadness of thinking that my garden would be destroyed. And I thought, you know, it has to be done. But I was so sad because this is the first year that my garden soil is the best that it's ever been. And my garden is so beautiful this year because we've had rain and it's just perfect. Then when the gentleman came out, he said, "Oh no, we will save your garden. We don't have to go through your garden. I'm going to have my crew do it by hand." I was so excited when I heard that. The equipment did not have to run up through my garden. In fact, they came on the side because the man who has been climbing trees for generations was up in the tree and he was cutting it down by hand instead of the bucket. In previous videos, you would have seen me showing the company with the buckets, and they would have the buckets, but this time he did it all by hand. And I thought some of you might be interested in that. So he is way up in the tree and he's cutting down the branches. Now you can see there's a lot of dead branches in the top because this tree has been damaged for many years. And the one thing they said, a tree can look healthy on the outside and be dying severely on the inside. Case in point, last fall this tree was producing seeds when normally it produces them in the spring. But did you know that a maple, when it's dying, will all of a sudden put out a lot of extra seeds, not in the season. in order to help it to grow again. That is fascinating to us. We knew the tree should go down eventually, but we weren't counting on it this year. As we watched the tree go down, I would say to my husband, are you sure we should have done this? Did we really have to do this? Was it really something that needed to be done immediately? And he said, yes, Tessie, I think it does. But still, I was so sad about it, thinking that maybe we could have left it go a couple more years. It looks so pretty, and it's so nice to have it as a shade tree. This is original 1963, and this was a sugar maple tree, and it is sad to see it go. So I was sitting here watching them, as you all are, thinking to myself, I don't know if this really needed to be done right away, even though it was a hazard. But time will tell a lot of stories, and you will see for yourself how we could have died in our sleep. That is not clickbait. In fact, it's the truth. We could have died by now in our sleep if we would have kept the tree standing. Piece by piece, year by year, was being erased by one single workman up in the tree. We were surprised how quick this tree came down. Each tree limb that came down, my anxiety grew a little more, thinking to myself, did this really have to be done in such a way? As you can see, he's getting higher and higher and higher, and the tree was quite tall. We have now taken down countless trees on our property, all because they had to be done. They were old and they were starting to have diseases. But wait till you see what was hidden inside this tree. When I placed that video out talking about YouTube and the revenue and just things in life, I thought to myself, I'm glad I posted that video because I got so much response from everyone saying the different things that happened in their life in the last couple weeks that they weren't counting on. And it made me feel like I'm not alone. And it's so nice to share stories with one another because we can share all of the things that we are going through each other and help each other through it.
crack we were seeing. This was the crack we were seeing. So the inside was hollow.
That's all rotted.
Dude, you know the only thing holding it was basically that. This is
Well, there you go, everyone. If that's not proof, I don't know what is. And I am very thankful that the tree is down. Here's just another angle of the tree coming down. So what are we going to do now? We got this big old tree stump in our lawn. Well, that's coming up for another video because we came up with some ideas of what we're going to do.